the heart of a small village nestled among misty mountains, lived a young man named Kavi. Though the village thrived in prosperity, Kavi struggled with discontent. His mind constantly raced with thoughts of what he did not have: wealth, power, and fame. No matter how hard he worked, an unshakable emptiness followed him. One day, Kavi heard of a revered monk who lived in a monastery high in the mountains. The villagers spoke of him as a man of great wisdom and inner peace. Seeking answers to his own turmoil, Kavi set out on a journey to meet the monk, hoping to find the secret to a fulfilled and happy life. After days of traveling, Kavi arrived at the serene monastery. The monk, an elderly man with bright, compassionate eyes, greeted Kavi warmly. "What brings you here, young one?" he asked gently. Kavi poured out his heart. "I have worked hard all my life, yet I feel empty. No matter how much I achieve, it is never enough. Please, master, teach me how to find peace and fulfillment." The monk nodded thoughtfully and asked Kavi to follow him. They walked in silence until they reached a small hill overlooking the monastery. The monk pointed to a vibrant garden filled with blooming flowers. "Look at these flowers, Kavi. Each one is different, yet all are content in their own way. They do not struggle to be something they are not. They simply bloom." Kavi frowned. "But I am not a flower, master. I have ambitions, desires, and goals. How can I be content without achieving them?" The monk smiled softly. "Desires are like the wind, constantly shifting and changing. True peace does not come from chasing the wind, but from stilling it within. You are not wrong to have desires, Kavi, but you must learn to balance them with wisdom and inner calm." Confused, Kavi asked, "How do I still the wind within, master?" The monk picked up a golden thread lying on a nearby rock. He handed it to Kavi and said, "This thread is fragile, yet it holds great power. It represents your mind. When you pull it too tight with desires, it breaks. When you let it go entirely, it loses its purpose. But if you hold it with balance, it remains strong and unbroken." Kavi examined the thread closely, realizing the depth of the monk's words. He had been pulling his own thread too tightly with his constant yearning for more, without appreciating what he already had. "Master," Kavi said softly, "how can I learn to balance my mind?" The monk motioned for Kavi to sit beside him. "Begin with mindfulness," he said. "Pay attention to each moment as it is, without judgment. When you feel desire pulling you, acknowledge it, but do not let it control you. This is the practice of letting go without giving up." For the next several weeks, Kavi remained at the monastery practicing mindfulness and meditation under the monk's guidance. He learned to observe his thoughts without getting attached to them, and slowly began to feel a sense of calm he had never known before. One morning, as Kavi sat in quiet meditation, he realized something profound. The emptiness he had felt all his life was not because he lacked wealth or success, because he had not been present in his own life. His constant chase for the next achievement had blinded him to the beauty of the present moment. With this realization, Kavi returned to his village. His life, once consumed by the pursuit of external validation, transformed into one of inner contentment. He still worked hard, but now with a peaceful heart. He enjoyed life's simple pleasures: a morning sunrise, the laughter of children, sound of rain on the rooftops. When the villagers saw the change in Kavi, they asked him how he had found such peace. He shared the monk's teachings and told them about the golden thread. "Hold your desires gently, not too tightly, nor too loosely. Balance is the key," he said. Over time, Kavi's wisdom spread throughout the village. People began practicing mindfulness and meditation, finding their own peace and fulfillment. The village flourished, not only in prosperity but in happiness. Kavi never forgot the lesson of the golden thread. Whenever life's challenges pulled at him, he remembered to balance his mind, holding his desires gently but firmly. He lived a life of contentment, teaching others the same wisdom until the end of his days. And so, the village became a place of great harmony, where people worked not out of desperation or greed, out of joy and purpose, always mindful of the golden thread that connected them to inner peace. The moral of the story: true peace and fulfillment come not from chasing external desires, but from finding balance within. Like the golden thread, the mind must be held gently, balanced between ambition and contentment, desire and mindfulness. When we learn to live in the present moment with awareness, we can transform our lives from emptiness to inner peace.